This is Father Marcin.
And this is Father Jaime.
And this is another Conversations with Father Marcin and Father Jaime. We'll talk today about this beautiful time, what is coming, is at hand, about Christmas. And we'll talk a little bit about the next steps, what we'll be taking in our parish, to move toward of being united as a one parish, St. Teresa of Calcutta parish. But first, let's start with Christmas. Father, I know that you studied very hard, the Christmas schedule, and if you can clearly, share with us the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day schedule, because it's very complex and complicated, and if you can share it, we'll see if you memorized.
Let's make it easy. Christmas Eve, December 24th, we have Mass at each of the 4 Catholic churches in Manchester, in all of them at 4 p.m. Then we have Mass at midnight, literally at midnight, at St. James. And on Christmas Day, December 25th, we have Mass in each of the 4 Catholic churches in Manchester, all of them at 10 a.m.
Okay, it's very simple. 4, midnight, 10. And as we remember, it will be Sunday, Christmas Day, but we'll have only one Mass. We are not following that Sunday schedule. We'll have one Mass in all 4 locations, 10 a.m. We put, this advertisement to newspaper. We are repeating, to everyone about this schedule last 2 months. And I believe that everyone is on the same page. But if you will get some questions, what time is Christmas in Manchester? I believe that you are able to memorize 4, midnight, 10.
And we want to ask you to come and celebrate at any of the churches that you want to attend, but come a little bit early. Our goal is to have our parking ministry, people there, our personers in the parking lot, helping you find a place. But the sooner you are able to arrive at Mass, before Mass, the better it is to have the experience of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's very important, come 15 minutes before what you usually come, because, last minute, we cannot guarantee that you will have the first pew seat, because first comes, first serve.
Yeah.
And this is why I would like that we would like to invite you earlier. In this way, we'll know, and we'll point you to right place, that you will have a seat and you will be able to enjoy, to celebrate. And remember, this is a joyful afternoon, joyful night, and joyful day. And come with this positive attitude of that Jesus is coming and Jesus is born in your life. This is very important because sometimes we're stressed about the dinner. We're stressed about breakfast, Christmas Day breakfast or Christmas Day lunch or anything. Please, don't allow those things to disturb the celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. The second, what we would like to talk is, the next steps, what we have in our parish, to move forward, with unified parish and having, some dreams about our parish. I know that you received the package of envelopes, and in some parts of our town is completely new thing.
So there's a change in the envelope.
Yes. And it's the name of St. Teresa of Calcutta, and we got couple calls, like, what about St. James? What about, is St. James closed? No. Now we are under umbrella of St. Teresa of Calcutta parish, and we have 4 churches: St. James Church, St. Bridget Church, St. Bartholomew Church, and Assumption Church, and we have 3 schools: St. James School, St. Bridget School, and we have joined school, preschool in St. Bartholomew location. And this is what we have, and this is what is the subject of our evaluation, what we call feasibility studies. Can you talk a little bit, Father, about what is the feasibility studies? Why do we need this,
Well, so the word itself, feasibility, asks what is possible, what is not possible. Is something feasible? Is something possible? Why are we asking that question? Well, it would be very difficult to have a family growing together if the son lived in one house, if the mom lived in another house, if the husband lived in another house, the pet lives in another house, and then you have another building for the daughter. It doesn't work. So we want to know, as we walk together as one Catholic community, one Christian community in Manchester, what would be the best arrangement such that we can live as one community? We have a lot of buildings right now, and it's been a gift from God for how many years all those buildings have allowed us to serve the community. Now we want to know what is the best arrangement, as opposed to having, I don't know how many, 20 different buildings or places here and there. How can we fulfill the mission of God, which is to call others to holiness? Everyone, not just Catholics, everyone in our towns and our neighboring towns. What would be the best arrangement? Is it one building? Do we expand? Do we have two buildings? We need to know what's possible and what is the best for the mission of the church.
Yes, today. And it's so important to remember that this is not some new, vision or new, idea. 30 years ago, people in Manchester, they already talked about what is happening today, and we didn't take any action on it. And now, we have to take this action, like your father mentioned a few weeks ago, about, priesthood, how many priests we'll have for over 700,000 people, Catholics in Connecticut, it will be now, Archdiocese will be 95 priests, correct? And we have to make this visible, that we'll be serving you, the best way how we can. And this is what we are doing this, because we want you to be happy Catholics, happy Christians, and to see, the sense of growth. What we are doing, we are setting this up for growth, not for, for decline,
I think that's important, Father, what you're saying. We're not planning, we don't want to develop a plan for the future so that we can close some places, make it small for what we have. No, we're planning for the growth of the Catholic Church in our town.
And beyond.
Right. And for the many gifts that we have a lot of students. That's a blessing, among our 3 schools.
Yes, and this is what we are trying to do, or we are working hard to make, make you to see that the church can grow, in this, this complicated and disordered world. Jesus is alive and can grow. Is this painful experience? Each of us has some, some attachment, correct, to the building, to the people who are in the building, and and we recognize this, but also we have to see what is feasible, and we are now working, to get the permission from Archbishop Blair for the feasibility studies, and to move forward to get some unbiased studies. Can you talk a little bit about that unbiased studies?
Yeah, so
what does it mean? Because we are using sometimes in the church, and maybe some people, they don't hear what we are saying, and
So we want to determine what is feasible. I am not the one, Father Jaime, studying to determine what is better. It's not Father Marcin. It's not really our staff. We want to have and commission people from outside of our community, experts who do not have a bias. They're not really only working to preserve one church building or one school building. No, based on their knowledge and expertise and the information that they gather in our community, in our town, in our facilities, they are unbiased. They're capable of looking at what we have and based on our feedback, determine, okay, this would be possible. If you want to grow as one family, if you're going to grow larger and larger in the future, these people, these experts who are not biased, they are unbiased, they're capable of putting together a plan that then we, all of us, the community, can assess.
Yes, and we people will have some voice, correct? Because we are going to have some dreaming sessions. Let's dream, let's dream what, how the church can look like, here in Manchester and beyond, that will be serving, truly Jesus, and will be focusing on sacraments, on teaching, on groups, small groups, what we are very strong now with, and this is what we are trying to do. And please, understand that we need to take these steps to move forward, and the first step is, those envelopes what you received with, St. Teresa of Calcutta Parish. This is our parish now, and we are serving, all 4 communities, as a family. We build this community to be one, one family, and it takes time. We are asking for patience, and we are asking for openness, because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
One more thing is that we are asking for the intercession of St. Teresa of Calcutta to help us know how best carry out the mission that Jesus gave us. So I go to church at St. James. St. Teresa help us to know how our community can grow. I go to church at St. Bridget or St. Bartholomew. I go to church to Assumption on Saturdays, and I ask St. Teresa, intercede for us. Ask Jesus, who is right there with you, to help us move forward.
Yeah, and from January 1st, we'll have St. Teresa in all 4 locations, the picture of St. Teresa of Calcutta. We have already in St. Bridget Church and in St. Bartholomew Church. I just framed for the picture of Mother Teresa for St. James Church, and I am bringing one more frame, and we'll put in Assumption Church to recognize Mother Teresa, the saint of our time, to be the way for us, and helping us to be, faithful, like she said, be, faithful, not successful.
Oh, well, maybe that should be our motto as we move forward.
Yeah, it's very important, and this is what we would like to share with you for this weekend, and we are inviting you, your families, your friends, for Christmas celebration. And for those who will be away from Manchester, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you, and see you next Sunday, next weekend, celebrating Christmas together. God bless you all.